Because it looked good.
Yeah, well, the one in this one doesn't look as cool as the one in the other two movies.
No.
And that's why it was a hard time finding that picture of that.
Of the original book.
One, yeah.
This is the Grindhouse Podcast. We're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome back to the Grindhouse Podcast. I am your host, Cheese Film, and joined with me today is, of course, my partner in crime, Mr. Hecubus.
I remember what I was going to say. It wasn't for this movie.
Oh, yeah? What was it for?
It was going to be Back from the Dead and Ready to Party.
Oh, well, there might be a teaser for next time.
Back from the Dead and Ready to Party.
I am, of course, behind the camera once more. Randy is about 75% booted up.
Well, I had to unplug him and plug him back in.
Oh, great. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yes, I do.
But we are talking about a classic horror movie from 1981, shot in 1978.
Yeah. And over a long time.
A long time. And I would like to say it's his college project.
No, it was way after that. I was looking up their filmographies and stuff, especially the producer, to see how much him and Raimi actually did together. Uh-huh. And they got all through the 70s. They were making short films. They were comedies.
They were short films.
Yeah,
and they were like little.
And it was after they were out of school, I think,
and stuff like that. But this was his. I think this was his first feature, right? Like
it's definitely his first feature. Are you thinking of Within the Woods? That they made as a proof of concept?
No, but they talk about that on this commentary.
Do they? Well, I'm sure they would.
And not only do they talk about that, they talk about how this was going to be called Book of the Dead.
Yep.
Because he was studying that in school. But that's kind of why I call this as his college project, because it's his first time writing a feature script.
Right.
Which is only 58 pages long.
Uh-huh.
So it's not even a full 60.
Yeah,
or 90 at
the first girl.
Uh-huh.
It said, like the script said, scream and get attacked by a tree. She had no idea what it was going to be or nothing like that.
They said it was all action and scenes and dialogue.
Right.
There's no anything. They don't know what's going on.
Right.
And really, with how this movie kind of went, I'm surprised it even exists.
Me too.
Because the production on this movie was insane.
Yeah. And what are we talking? Did you say the name of it yet?
I might have, but I'm going to give us a glamour shot of the Evil Dead. Written
1981,
by Sam Raimi, known for his Spiderman Trilogy.
Oh my God, for so much stuff.
And nothing more after that.
There was so much stuff, I didn't bother getting it. But like these 3 Evil Dead movies. Mm-hmm. He made Darkman with Liam Neeson, which is really good. He made The Quick and the Dead, that's got Gene Hackman, Leonardo DiCaprio when he was a kid, teenager-ish, and Sharon Stone. He made A Simple Plan, all kinds of... Oh, and Crime Wave. Sorry. That was a flop. But then Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
I forgot about Oz the Great and Powerful.
He made Oz the Great and Powerful?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all.
And I think that's
like
great.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
I love it. I love it better than The Wizard of Oz.
I think, but I mean, The Wizard of Oz is a
you
different
can't have
kind
it without,
of animal. But I've always liked Oz the Great and Powerful.
I love
and a lot of people say it's a terrible, terrible, terrible movie and a terrible sequel. And I just don't agree with them.
I don't either. I think what's wrong about it?
Well, I guess the tone of it and the spirit is kind of more...
well, it's a drama.
Harsher.
It's not a musical. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's based on Wicked.
No, it's not, because it's the Oz getting to...
Yeah. So
or the wizard getting to Oz.
It'd kind of be before the story.
Right, right.
And it's focused on a completely different character. Anyway.
Yeah.
But... I guess it's a little bit more mean-spirited than
I don't think it's mean-spirited at all. Oh, well, I guess when what's her name turns green, like her little story, played by Meg there.
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, is
or Mia Kunis.
Meanish. But he didn't mean to hurt her, and she was being manipulated by somebody. You know what I mean?
No, I just mean, because, I've never read these Oz books.
Oh, me neither. Hell no.
I guess some of them do get pretty dark. Like, they're not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that too.
A lot of snooty cinephiles, which is a term I absolutely hate.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
And Oz fans think that movie is terrible. There's
Maybe they think it's terrible.
On TikTok.
Oh, really?
Who is like an Oz historian. I'll watch her videos all the time. She's got like this huge collection of Wizard of Oz.
Is it your
aunt? I wish I knew her name, man, off the top of my head. But I'll tag her in the video or something, because like she is a like Oz historian. She has a version of it might be a first edition of the Wizard of Oz.
The book?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is hard to get.
I'm sure it is. It's like 100-something years old.
Yeah, and she's got like the twine dispensers that were like Dorothy's face, and like you'd pull it out of her lips and it's like cooking twine. Weird looking things, like a whole bunch of
I didn't know they had that kind of stuff for
Oz
it.
merchandise.
Yeah.
Like she's got a whole bunch of it, and she studies the Wizard of Oz. Like it is her thing that she's very passionate about.
Right.
And she absolutely hates the movie. She thinks it's a terrible
I
adaptation
invite her
and everything.
on our podcast to debate it.
Well, I'd like to bring her on to talk about the Wizard of Oz. I think that'd be a cool one to talk about.
She could talk about any of that stuff. Because I cannot.
You don't like the Wizard of Oz?
I don't care as much.
Yeah, I get that. Part of me has a soft spot for it.
Of course.
But part of me also just kind of doesn't. It's like, I've seen that one.
Yeah, right.
It kind of like
it is different too. Like
Gone with the Wind. I don't really like that movie.
Yeah.
There it is, kind of thing.
But like your mother always says too, when we were kids, that was only on once a year.
Yeah.
And that's the only time you were ever going to see it for that entire year. And we had it on. We probably had it on VHS and DVD and watched it whenever the hell we wanted to. Yeah.
Especially with
had the soundtrack.
JP over there, who was obsessed with it as a kid. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I've seen it too much. It's right up my alley. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I
original?
Enjoy the story. Yeah, well,
and the songs are good.
It's not the original. The 1939,
the original, the real one,
is actually a remake of a lot of other ones.
I watched
to find out.
I watched a documentary on the Wizard of Oz and found all that kind of stuff out. Like, it was a big flop.
That guy made a silent film too,
and he made what do you call it? Alice in Wonderland was terrifying looking to people then, and it's horrific now.
And that's what's kind of funny too about those older movies from the early 20s and 30s, is that like with our understanding and stuff like that, they're still kind of spooky. You know, so like if they were spooky to the people then watching it, who are used to like, well, that's just the Easter Bunny. You know, it's like, well, the Easter Bunny doesn't look like that now.
It's
so
not supposed to look maniacal.
Then, yes, it's weird.
Speaking of what people say about terrible things, Stephen King, his stamp of approval on this movie. I'm trying to segue back into the Evil Dead. I think it's on the poster I got. He says it's the most original, whatever. This played at Cannes, was a huge hit.
This played at Cannes before Cannes was a thing.
Yeah, when only cinephiles knew what Cannes was.
Yeah.
Made on a budget.
It's the most furiously original horror film.
Ferociously original, yeah. And he's absolutely right. But that's what got New Line involved in the thing. They made it for $375,000. $90,000 they got by they made that movie, what did I just call it? Something in the Woods or something.
Oh, man, what did you just say? It was on the tip of my tongue.
Well, they made that movie the proof of concept, and were able to get $90,000 from like dentists and stuff up in Michigan. Yeah,
well, and one of the guys who went on to be a real estate tycoon.
Oh, really?
Happened to be where they were developing a lot of the footage for the Woods proof of concept there. He's like, well, show it to me. I might help you out. And they did, and he did. He's actually a big part of why, because the movie wasn't widely released here when it first came out.
Right.
It was released in London. And
in Europe, yeah, it was huge.
A lot of the reason why it even got over there, all the publicity images that you've seen were because of him. The score without the dialogue was because of him, because they didn't have any of that. They didn't know they needed any of that. So because of this guy, he basically bankrolled all that stuff for him.
That must be where the other $200,000 came from.
Exploded.
Yeah. It made $2 million here. So even if he invested in it and he got his share of that box office, he's going to make money because it made $2 million on a $300,000 budget. Made like 25 or something over in Europe. So it made like $30 million basically in its initial run.
Which is really cool because, I mean, like I said, like if you didn't know he had made stuff before this, you kind of would have thought this was his college thesis project.
Yeah, because a lot of it's like out of focus.
A lot of it is, yeah.
And I don't know if that's because of them and their cameras, or they didn't shoot it on 35 millimeter. It got transferred up to 35 millimeter.
Well, kind of. They wanted to do that.
Well, that's what Bruce Campbell, he put his family house up to get the film finished and to put it into 35 millimeter.
So from what they were saying, because I listened to the commentary on this, and it was a talking point because they were shooting on Super 8, and they had seen where somebody upped it to 16 millimeter, and like they blew it up and it still looked good. So they tried that. They shot it on Super 8, they blew it up, and they said the grain was golf ball size. It looked terrible. They couldn't do it. It ruined the shots. They had to redo everything. Now what? Now what do you do? Now you have to shoot on 16 millimeter.
Right.
You have to do that. So they got all these, at the time, top of the line TV cameras that upped the budget tremendously.
Right.
And they had to get a real cinematographer because they didn't know how to
do
use
it for TV camera, yeah.
And they shoot it again, and it's all black because the guy messed up the either the ISO or the
white balance
light in there, so like it was all black. They couldn't see anything.
Man,
so it's just problem after problem on the set. The commentary was done by Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and Robert Trapper. Bruce Campbell is insanely involved in the making of this.
Yeah,
I thought he was just
they were friends,
but like his friend in like your friend, you're the artist, and I'm your buddy, kind of mooching off you. Kind of friend, but no, he's like as on it as everybody is. Yeah. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a guy credited as the music director.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about where's his name? Joe LaDuca? He's got credit for the music. Is that who you're talking about?
It might be that. It's not him. He didn't do it.
Oh, he didn't?
Bruce Campbell did it, and they just used that name.
Really? Because that guy went on to do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That Tapper produced and stuff. Wow, what do you know?
Man, it might not be him, but there's some... I want to say it's the music director credit. Was credited as somebody who had nothing to do with the film.
Okay.
And it was Bruce Campbell doing it, who had no idea what he was doing at all. And he said, I was the worst guy to get for this job because I didn't know what I was doing. And that's what he says. Some of this stuff is terrible sounding because he doesn't know what he's doing. But these three guys basically made this movie.
Yeah, totally.
Which I was just very impressed with. Because I'm not trying to insult the guy, but I always thought Bruce Campbell was the call me when I'm ready kind of actor.
Right.
You know, maybe like a Bob De Niro. He's not behind the camera ever. He's your star.
Right.
He's going to be in front of the camera. So to learn that not only did a lot of this couldn't have happened without him.
Right.
That his involvement with Sam Raimi is more of a brotherly dynamic duo kind of
exactly
gig.
And that's why he's in like those Spider-Man movies.
He's in all
that stuff. Yeah.
Just about anything Raimi did. He put Campbell in.
And that car, really cool. The car from this movie.
Bruce Campbell hates that car.
Oh, really?
He hates it, and he hates that it's in everything. He said, it's not practical, Sam. Like, you got to stop doing it.
Well, he's right. It's not. But, like, it's, in Spider-Man, it's Uncle Ben's car.
There's you said it earlier, the something in the dead.
Quick in the Dead.
Quick in the Dead. Sam Raimi's like, it's not in that one.
Yeah,
said,
right.
Yes, it is in that one. You took it apart and put the chassis on the wagon, and that's how you got it in there. And I don't know, I've never seen that movie.
I don't remember that.
At all. But apparently Bruce Campbell says that it's in there. And Sam Raimi joked, he said, well, the next time I use it, you're going to be a mechanic fixing the car up.
That's
and
cool.
They had a little fun at there. Or you're going to voice a piece of asphalt that it drives over. He's like, I'll voice the asphalt that it crashes over. He's like, well, you got the ass part down. He's like, yeah, that's not my fault, though. I just thought their banter is hilarious.
Yeah, that's worth it just to watch it with that. Because the movie, you got the Evil Dead. That is iconic now and a cult classic.
Absolutely.
And they're like, well, we could do it better. And that's what the Evil Dead 2 is.
Yeah, it's like a retelling, just a retread of the first story. But then it leads into
the third one, yeah, where this one doesn't. But like I had a hard time. I wanted to get a picture of the book.
The Book of the Dead. Oh,
the
such a cool
Necronomicon.
prop. I regret not getting... There's a person at Dragon Con. I don't know if he's a real... like, he had access to the prop and then he made a cast of it. But he was selling... It was a wall of stuff. Like the Grail from Indiana Jones, the idol there.
Cool.
And the book of... And I was like, I want to get that so bad, but I don't know if it's, like, real or not. And I didn't get it, and now I want it. So
regardless,
I gotta track him down and get it.
Cool as the one in the other two movies.
No,
and that's why it was a hard time finding that picture of the
original book.
One, yeah.
I kind of like how the stop motion looked at the end there.
I'm surprised. Yeah, it turned out good, and it's really disgusting.
It is.
It works really good.
It is really disgusting.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking about it while I was watching this movie. I like this movie pretty good. And every time I think of this movie, I usually have nightmares. Even thinking about it. Because there's something about... They're Luddites, right?
Deadites.
Deadites. Because they're not zombies. And they're not really
right, they're
demons.
possessed.
It's just pure evil.
Yeah.
And they're brutal and mean.
Yeah, they are.
And they only get, with the sequels and everything, they only get meaner and more gory.
Yeah.
And
that's what the thing. I don't think this movie's scary at all.
No.
And I don't think any of them are scary, but they're disgusting to look at. Yeah.
I
think the remake of this one is the worst, though. That's the one that's like,
really?
I can't. Oh, I mean,
okay. You
cringiest.
Yeah.
It's the really. Like,
have you seen Evil Dead Rise?
I saw the beginning of it, and I had to do something else.
Okay. So what was the worst part in the remake?
Probably when she cuts her tongue. Ugh. It looks real. That, and then at the end, the main woman's got the final girl.
Yeah.
Bruce is the final girl in this movie. Has a chainsaw, she's fighting the last Deadite thing, and that's pretty disgusting, bloody, and looks real. But no, there's also the stuff looks great. Fade Alvarez did that one, but he's got a nail gun.
Yeah,
and the Deadite shooting him with a nail gun, and man, this stuff looks good. It looks too good. And I purposely only watched the unrated version.
Yeah, don't.
And it was just too much. I can't watch it again.
I don't know if you should, because Evil Dead Rise, which is a movie I thought would be horrible. Just absolutely
I heard it was good,
awful.
and what I saw was all right.
And then I watch it, and like you're sold pretty early on, but then there's a part, because there's like kids in this one.
Yeah.
And the kids aren't spared. But one of the kids bites into a light bulb, and you watch the glass go pulse through her neck and like cut it open a little bit and then go down. It's it makes your skin crawl.
Yeah. The effects in this are pretty good. The stop motion is good, and like it's the makeup and stuff. Like one woman got her eyelashes torn off, taking it off, but for a low budget, that's not bad. No,
and I mean they were pretty inspired by what's his name? I wrote it down. It's the guy who did the effects for Frankenstein and the Wolfman.
Oh.
Scott Spiegelman, who did the Wolfman and Frankenstein. They
I can see that.
Pulled reference from there. And I can too. Like, it doesn't look like a Universal horror movie, but you can tell that because that Wolfman and that Frankenstein are very grounded in reality.
This seems like,
you know, and that's kind of what this feels like too. Like, there's no snout on the human now. It's just, you know, it worked.
They don't get fangs or anything. Just their eyes turn white. That's all.
Oh man, do you know the story about the eyes turning white?
And they got like real thick contact lenses in that they couldn't see.
Yeah. So they're wearing sclera lenses, which Courtney had black ones for one of her cosplays, and like I mean how Bruce said, I mean they're putting Tupperware over your eyes.
Yeah,
you cannot see anything. But they went to an eye doctor to get them fitted, and the moment they open the eye, they put the lens in, burning immediately. So now you've got to take these lenses out into the woods.
Yeah.
And they had the makeup guy doing it, like putting the lenses on these people. You're only supposed to wear them for 15 minutes. Yeah. You got to take them on. You can only wear them like 4 times a day. Like, that's it. They completely threw those rules out. They wore them. There's the lady in the basement who's got the white eyes. She's like, just keep going. We got to get this over with. Power through because, how uncomfortable it was.
Yeah.
And everybody got hurt.
Yeah.
During the filming of this. Nobody was left unscathed. You got a picture of these eyeballs?
Yeah. Well, they all have them.
Look at this. Ugh.
Who's that?
A creepy girl sitting on crisscross.
Oh, yeah. His girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, some kids rent a cabin that's out in the woods.
Yes.
And they go to...
the original cabin in the woods.
Yeah, really. And they're just going out there to relax and whatever. They got to go across a creepy bridge that ends up getting destroyed. And the place is haunted. The woods are haunted. Because you come to find out a archaeologist kind of professor and his wife were in that cabin, and he found the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon, and read from it, and it awakened something that's not ever dead, but never, it just lies dormant or something he says in that, which I love. Like, they would probably be okay. There's something in the woods saying, join us constantly, but they might have been okay. They play the tape, and it starts everything all over again.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing.
So
everybody gets possessed.
It's a vinyl they played on there, and it's the chant, and then you hear somebody busting in the room going, what the hell are you doing? Don't you know what you do? It's called the Book of the Dead. Stop reading it. And it's Bruce Campbell's voice.
Is it?
Yeah. And then
reading it?
Well, no, it's
on
some person reading it, like I'm reading it now, and then the door bursts open, and Bruce Campbell's there telling me to stop reading the Book of the Dead.
That's awesome.
That I'm an idiot. Like that's his cameo, which was a cool little thing to
that's
add
awesome.
Because why are there so many copies of this? You know, like who's recording themselves doing that? Is that part of the curse? Is to record yourself doing it so the next person can do it?
So they then one by one they get possessed by the Deadites, and Bruce is left. And
what's the problem?
He might be at the end. He's like walking away, and something looks like it gets him.
Yeah.
So does he get away? Does he not?
You know, and I kind of like how it's a little open-ended like that.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, Evil Dead Rise ends, like, I guess they do beat the one in the hotel room. But, like, the movie kind of opens with out in the woods.
Yeah,
somebody gets possessed. And they never come back to that.
No.
Then it's a whole nother thing. At the very end, they never fixed that part. So, like, it survived the night, and it's still possessed, and it's coming to attack the world.
In the woods or in the apartments?
Woods.
Okay.
The apartments, they beat it.
Okay.
But in the woods, they don't.
Right.
And the evil comes back.
The evil lives. The Evil Dead live.
Oh, man. A lot of what this commentary is talking about the story on the build-up and how they got money for it.
I'm sure. That's an interesting... They could make a whole movie about that.
Honestly, this whole conversation felt like it could have been an animated movie. Like, three buddies trying to finance a movie, get it on. You're like the Disaster Artist.
Right.
Like that, the Evil Dead, the making of the Evil Dead could have been a really cool movie to make, you know?
Yeah, it could.
I would think it'd be really cool to be animated just because of how each one of these people have their very own distinct personalities and character traits that would shine best, I think. Because there's no actor, I would say, to be Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
You know, but you can make a caricature of him.
Yeah, it might be
and
better
it works
that
a little
way.
better, I think. Even stop motion, because I feel like that would have been more expensive to do in this.
Yeah.
To have it have the stop motion than to really do anything else. But yeah, so a lot of cool stories here. The first draft, he sent it off to, I think, one of his professors, who told him, you can't have 5 minutes of build-up and then 60 minutes of The Exorcist. You had to rewrite it. So he said, okay, well, I'll have 10 minutes of build-up.
Right.
65 minutes of The Exorcist.
Speaking of the build-up, that's basically when they're coming, they're driving to the cabin. And Sam Raimi and, what's his name, the producer's name, they're play two yokels that are on the side of the road. They're waving at him. And then the guy yells, I'm not waving at you. That's Sam Raimi and the producer.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool, too, that, like, they're from Michigan.
Yeah.
They filmed it in the winter, and they did it here in Morristown, Tennessee. Because they thought it'd be warmer, and it was like the coldest winter on record here.
Yeah, well, and what's funny is that it wasn't supposed to be here. They had a place lined up.
Did they?
And it fell through.
Closer to Michigan?
Yeah, up in, I think it was more out west a little bit more. But they didn't have anything.
Right.
They had a place, and the guy was like, well, you know, we can't do it anymore. So they didn't have anywhere to go. They had a whole bunch of woods and the people in the woods. So there's a lot of that POV driving stuff. They shot that while they were basically getting ready to go down to Morristown because that was the second place they found. And they're like, well, this is a good place to go if we have to.
Yeah, the cabin looks good.
And there's a guy named Gary who was a local who really sold them on Tennessee culture. And I guess back then, moonshine... Yeah. Moon pies.
You can see he's got a mason jar of a liquid when he's driving. The guy, and that's supposed to be moonshine, but they kind of cut that part out.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, so they drive here. They go in the... what I'm getting at is everybody, like the first person that gets possessed, she gets a tree attacks her, one of the spirit trees. And... it's not
they kept that in the remake.
What's that?
They kept that in the remake too.
Yeah, right.
I think that was a brave choice because
it is.
That could have been anything.
And they did it in the second one too. So they touch her. So she all right, then she stabs Ash's girlfriend with a pencil.
Heel with the pencil.
Right.
Man.
But she stabs him with a pencil. Everybody else is getting mauled and everything. She's just stabbed with a pencil. She turns into a deadite. Everybody else turns into a deadite. Ash doesn't. And at one point, she's biting his leg and ripping at his skin. He should be too.
And I kind of wonder why he isn't.
Because that's the movie.
Because they clearly, like with Evil Dead 2 and then Army of Darkness, they very much hem up the... like shits and giggles of the thing. Why not? Like everything sticks to the wall, kind of.
Like even when he's cutting his own arm off, because he gets possessed and he cuts his arm off to put the chainsaw on.
Yeah,
it's that's a great part. Just the way the camera. It's like Scarface when they cut the guy with the chainsaw, but you don't ever see it. And people were all up in arms over that movie too about the violence in it. And they always say the chainsaw scene, but you don't ever see that, and it's nail biting. The Scarface one, and it's pretty bad in this one
the ear
too.
and Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, you don't see that. It's all in your mind.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it.
It really
especially
is.
if you don't have a huge budget and you
It's
need
the
to
best
sell
way
the
to do
idea.
it.
It's the best way to do it
Yeah.
because my mind is filling in those blanks
Exactly.
better than they can. They can.
It's never going to look that good.
Yeah.
As you in your brain.
The theater of the mind really works. Man, there's so much. So like when they made this movie, a lot of indie films, you go down to your local. So like we got Central Cinema here.
Mm-hmm.
They'd go to a local theater, mom and pop shop, and kind of just play it there. A lot of drive-ins did that, and that's really how you got your movie out.
Yeah.
And you would, hope for some sort of DVD release
Or you get to go to
or DVD
Cannes.
video release.
Yeah. Or I think South by Southwest even was a thing then. But there were other places where distribution companies would be, and you try to basically pitch it to them to get it a wide release.
I kind of wish we still did stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess the Westtown Theater Regal over here, they'll play some indie stuff, but other than that, I heard
you gotta make sure you gotta either guarantee a certain amount of tickets, or you gotta pay to do it.
Yeah,
that much,
which is a little harder now. And when they were putting the movie out into these drive-ins, they forgot it. So
they forgot the movie?
Yeah, they forgot the movie. So they called up one of their buddies. They're like, who can we call who can just drop what they're doing and help us? And it was just some low-level mid-man at Macy's. And they're like, hey, will you go to Technicolor and pick up this and deliver it to us? And he's like, yeah, sure. So like there's improvising this stuff, build up, and then here's the movie. They play it in front of a theater of 1,000 people.
Wow.
And the audiences loved it.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. There was a little old lady, and this Sam Raimi hates this, who came up to Bruce Campbell and was like, I was having a really, really bad day, and then I watched this movie, and thank you. It was a great time. And Sam Raimi was like, yeah, I don't like hearing that. Because this movie's not a good time. It's one of the greatest horror movies ever made, in my opinion.
It's they said we're going to take The Exorcist and do everything more
to 10.
Yeah. Take everything from The
brought it up
Exorcist
to 10.
And that is true. And I also saw it because they did comedy stuff, and that's why Crime Wave came out shortly after this. But they did the research, and horror movies are cheap to make and make a ton of money. And they hit the nail on the head with that. Because it made a ton of money,
and that's why
it was cheap.
it had to be a horror movie. They set out to make the horror movie. That was one of Sam Raimi's, like, this is what we got to do. Because they're cheap, you can put it out, then you can make a lot of money back. So that has to be our first one.
Right.
And, I mean, obviously it paid out. Like, everybody knows this movie. Everybody knows the name Sam Raimi. And if you don't...
And then Ash is as culturally iconic as, like, Leatherface.
Yeah.
Or anybody else, Michael Myers.
You bring that up. I was thinking about this watching this movie. This movie and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel very similar in their griminess.
Yeah, they do.
I think this movie is far superior. Quentin Tarantino is known by saying... it might not be the best movie, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the perfect movie. I think this is.
Quentin Tarantino loves this movie too. He went to see it the day it came out, and he saw something, him and his buddy, and they're like, "Oh, we got to go see that." And he says this movie is pretty much perfect too.
It's damn near perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think I haven't seen Evil Dead 2 in a long time, but I think this one, just because of how it feels.
Yeah,
you've got that authentic, like it's not a set feel to it.
Yeah,
that puts it over the edge in a lot of ways. He was
talking about how it was shot, and there's like basically how movies were made before Evil Dead
and after Evil Dead.
Yeah. He didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing him, but yeah, that was everything had to be done that way now to be scary, and a lot of it is. There's no
and
like
there's a
real
lot of-
jump scares or anything. It's just disgusting and
No, I wouldn't say there's any
eerie
jump
with
scares.
all that fog. There's way
Yeah.
too much.
There's a lot of fog. There's a
Yeah.
lot of just black void outside the
Yeah.
cabin, which I think helps sell the
I think it does totally.
isolated,
Yeah.
lonely, like there's just nobody coming for
Nope.
us.
And you can't get out.
Yeah, like you're trapped. You
Yeah.
are trapped in a place you don't want to be.
And what the thing that like obviously they had more money for Evil Dead 2,
Yeah,
but like one part they basically drive him nuts. Mm-hmm. And like in this movie there was a deer's head as a decoration
on the mantle.
and in that movie there's a bunch of taxidermy stuff that all like comes to life and starts laughing at him and stuff.
Yeah,
And you get that one shot of him just maniacally starts going insane. Yeah.
You see that? That's kind of what I'm talking about. I don't want to say it's more comedic.
No, but it's they really did a better job with Evil Dead 2 than
Yeah.
they did with the first one.
It's more polished.
It is more polished and like that. There's no real madness in that. It's more isolation.
Yeah.
And I like the madness part of it. It's pretty cool.
So their buddy here, Rob, his family had a lawyer friend. And I don't know why Bruce Campbell's like, well, tell him how you know him, Rob. Come on, tell the story. He doesn't really tell a story. He got in trouble as a kid, and the lawyer got him out of jail.
Right.
But, like, that's how his family knows a lawyer. But that lawyer helped him draw up a lot of the financial papers to help
Oh, that's
get
nice.
him, this movie financed. And Sam said that anybody he knew, family, friends, would never have given him any money. And they didn't give him any money. Except a guy from Kmart who was, this is what I was telling you about earlier, who, his name was Fred Gorshinston. And he's got some real estate stuff. But he saw them bringing in these stacks of Kodak film to get processed, and he's like, what the hell is all that?
Right.
And they're like, well, it's a movie we're shooting to like proof of concept. And he's like, well, show it to me. And it's just wood stuff. It's all just woods.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. He helped them bankroll the movie. They needed to get $95,000 on their own before the what is that name of that savings account kicked in. So they had a bunch of people who were starting to come into it. And it starts with the letter E. It's a savings account that you can't touch until you're a certain age, essentially. It's that same name, but for a movie. And they needed to get $95,000 before they can get the rest of the money. And if they didn't get the $95,000, they had to give back any money that these investors gave them. They got to $85,000.
Yeah.
And they said, please let us use the rest of that money. And they said, okay. They let them. And it sent it away. They got into production. They started
Talking about a
shooting.
trust?
No, it starts with the letter E. It's not an escrow account, but it's something like that. And I cannot, for the life of me, think of what he said.
Evil Dead account.
Yes. So they go down to Morristown, and it's freezing, as you pointed out. And, I mean, to give them credit, we live in Tennessee. We live, an hour, maybe 30 minutes away from Morristown?
Yeah, it's not that far.
Here in Knoxville. I don't quote me on that. I have no idea where Morristown is. And I don't even think the cabin's still up there.
I work with a guy from Morristown.
You do?
Yeah. The cabin is not still there. I just watched a video of a guy went through the locations, and that cabin is not there anymore. And it looks like it's on its last legs in the movie.
It looks bad in the movie.
Well, it looks good for the movie.
Oh, yeah.
But absolutely. I can't believe these teenagers are like,
let's go here to hang
somewhere
out.
else, man.
But so got really cold, and
there's no running water in it.
There was no running water at all. So they lived off of Mellow Yellow, which is something I hadn't heard of until we moved down here. Which is Coca-Cola's
like Mountain Dew, yeah.
But it's popular as hell down here. And I just never heard of it up until we came down here. But we never really had sodas or anything like that.
But we would have got Mellow Yellow. But it was up there. It's up there.
I don't doubt it, but it's very popular down here.
Mountain Dew was from Tennessee.
Which is, well, Mountain Dew was created to cut moonshine.
Yeah, right. Well, Mountain Dew was called that. Moonshine's nickname is Mountain Dew.
And that's why I went like the old prospector guy on the Mountain Dew bottles.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a moonshiner,
yeah.
you know, like.
But like NASCAR, it started here in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, they're runners. But so they ended up having to these three guys, Rob, Sam, and Bruce. Each one of them would take turns sleeping in the cabin because some people got heard wind of them filming up there and snuck in and started stealing their power tools. Not the tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Right. Well, what are they going to do with that?
That's what Bruce said. It's like you know, you took the drill next to the $10,000 camera because this is useless. They don't even know how to use that.
Right.
But they know how to use this, and they took that. So they lit a fire in the fireplace, and they spent the night every night until the filming was done, and it got real cold at night, and the fire would end up going out, so the mornings were always rough. And it got to a point where Sam stopped, and they were spooked in that cabin. They were scared.
Yeah.
To the point where Sam Raimi got to the point where he was just sleeping in the graveyard on the top of the hill behind the cabin. He'd rather sleep with the dead people than sleep in this cabin. And I don't know what that goes to tell you for this movie, but damn. Another thing, Fred found him up there, shivering, mad. He's like, I just want to die. Let me die. Just let me die, Fred. And he brought him down, and Bruce is like, yeah, you saved the Spider-Man franchise that day. When he saved Sam Raimi. The wall in the cabin was constantly having to be plastered over because it was basically falling apart. And that's why it always looks different. Up until the crash out scene at the very end, that was shot in somewhere else.
I was thinking, is this how big is this cabin?
It feels huge.
It does. Huge. Like a
Maybe
mansion.
It's a British cabin and it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, right. That's what it looks like. It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So there's a movie. I watched it on purpose. It's a Kevin Bacon movie. You Should Have Left, I think it's called. And he's with his daughter, and they're measuring. He's like, there's something weird about this room. And it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And I'm like, wow, that's going to be awesome. That movie ended up sucking. Like, it starts off really good and then just peters out.
Damn. This is a good at the end here. I'll put this up on the screen. These effects here.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Like that one that they're coming out of their bodies and stuff. I think there's one. I don't know why we can't have video on our podcast, but everybody else
gets it.
Because there is one of the stop motion stuff, but it doesn't mean anything because it's completely stopped. But that stop motion is pretty cool, and it looks gross.
Ugh. Very grody movie.
Yeah.
So you'll notice how, because I'm about to bring up that Sam Raimi held auditions in his own house, and a lot of the girls who auditioned would bring their boyfriends because how the movie was described and going to this guy's house, they thought it was a snuff film.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So you'll see how my notes are kind of all over the place. Like there's not like the beginning of production, here's middle. That's how they were talking about this movie on this commentary.
That's awesome.
We haven't brought up a single actor. We haven't brought up
they weren't in anything else except for Bruce Campbell.
And they don't even.
A couple of the women in the 2000s started getting more roles.
Yeah, there's one who ended up becoming another.
They didn't do anything else.
But like we normally will, the cast is this, and
yeah, right.
And sometimes when they're like talking about like production, they talk in sequence, but they just kind of honestly they just spoke about it off the cuff, and it's so like how the commentary for Total Recall was, where Arnold and what's his name just kind of fanboying out about the movie they made, and like, oh yeah, remember this. There was none of that. It was honest to God was I was taking notes while this movie was playing and just glanced over every now and again to be like, oh yeah, that was a cool, because it just there were two separate entireties.
That's awesome.
It really did feel like it was its own story.
So this is the steelbook of it?
This is the steelbook.
Is that a Walmart thing, Steelbooks, or
so
that's the only place I've ever seen them. But
it's such a tragedy. With they were exclusive to Best Buy. Best Buy is where you'd get a lot of the Steelbooks that you wanted. Walmart maybe had some, Target maybe had some, and then like what they did, like I have a Big Lebowski one where it's like the bowling pins and like two shot glasses. They're like pop arty. Target would do some of those. Walmart would do some of those. But the place you went to get Steelbooks was Best Buy. Right. Best Buy stopped doing them, and now Best Buy stopped selling physical media entirety. So you can't get any of them there.
Is it Best Buy an online place only now?
They might be. They might be dropping off the face of the earth. We have a...
That's too bad.
It is. It's like Radio Shack now. Like Best Buy is going out like Radio Shack did.
Here in Knoxville, we have a Radio Shack in the mall. Weird.
And they're selling bootlegged video games and stuff like that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Don't ruin it for them. I might want one. So when I was researching this and found out about commentaries, I did not hear one. The one you saw, I am unaware of.
Really?
There was another one that's got the Sam and Tom or whatever his name is, and Bruce does his own, and it's on one disc. I don't know if I think it's the DVD. So it's worth checking out. I think that would be the only commentary you really want to watch.
This one, I think it really is.
If you're into commentary, I'm into commentary. I won't watch a... People are like, why do you want to watch a movie with somebody's talking about it the whole way through? I already saw the movie. I want to watch what they're saying about it.
Yeah, I don't watch the commentary as my first viewing.
Right. No, if you do that, stop doing that and watch it again.
Or watch the thing with the commentary in it, and then watch the thing after the commentary, and you might have a better appreciation for what you're watching.
You might.
I mean, like if you put the Lord of the Rings in, there's like what 7 different commentaries for that. Every department has a commentary.
If you're interested in fashion, you could listen to that.
Yeah,
the costume or
the
set
costume,
design,
the art,
all that stuff.
The editors,
everything.
I think, have one. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
I enjoy a commentary just because I enjoy the making of a movie.
Yeah, me too. When I was a kid, I was always watching some, like every once in a while. This is before cable. Like there'd be a making of thing, like if something ran short, a sporting event, or like on the weekends. There's like a lot of them, and they were just so interesting. And a lot of times they were about Star Wars.
Oh, well, that's true. The first commentary I sat down and watched was Revenge of the Sith.
Man, those ones though.
Those
have 3 documentaries. Each movie has a documentary, a feature-length documentary about the movie or some aspect of it, like George writing the new trilogy. Now we're going to use digital cameras.
Yeah.
And Steadicam people were all pissed off because now it's hooked onto something.
Yeah.
And then that one, the Revenge of the Sith one is, if you want to know what a department does and all those credits, that one shows you every single one.
Yeah.
And it's just great
fascinating.
fun. Yeah, I love it.
It's just cool to watch. I've got this marked here in my notes as the first time they're talking about something on the screen. We are super far into not only this podcast, but the movie.
Right.
And they go, I don't think there's any glass in those windows. No, we took the glass out to help with the glare. It's so bad. And then they keep talking about... then they go right into the Mellow Yellow story. And I think Bruce found a bottle of water, and he's like, guys, you got to try this. It's called water. Because they're so dehydrated. Everything, the whole... Man, again, like, the making of... This movie should be its own movie.
Yeah, it should.
Let's see here. They left Tennessee. They wrapped filming in Tennessee without a finished movie.
Yeah, that's where the fake shumps come in.
Yeah, the whole I'm calling it the crash out scene. They called it the meltdown, but crash out and meltdown are interchangeable now in 2025.
What do you?
The end when Bruce fights everybody essentially.
Okay,
where he doesn't chainsaw his girlfriend. And everything starts melting. They shot that in Bert Pierce's house. In his basement. And Raimi's like, I think it broke up their marriage. And Bruce like, it definitely broke up their marriage because we filled it with Cream corn, African hissing cockroaches, snakes. The smell was unbearable, and they just filled it with just nonsense and garbage, and it drove those two apart. And it's kind of sad, but you do it for the film, I guess. I don't even know who that guy is.
Right, me neither.
You know, like it's just, I don't even know if he had anything to do with the movie. And they lost a lot of time. They bring this up too. Everybody on set got hurt. The dude there stepped on a nail and it like went through his foot. And for like a whole week, they'd come up to him and be like, "You gonna be on set today?" "No, I don't think so." And like, all right, well, we got to do something else then without him. So they lost a lot of time with this too. Sam got hit with a log, and he got hit hard because they found him one day just in the middle of nowhere filming stuff, raving about something. He was all pale, and like his eyes were all they like, we don't know what's going on with him. We bring him back. Something happened to Bruce Campbell too. I don't remember. Like he
like twisted his ankle or something.
Yeah, like broke his foot. And the shotgun was a real shotgun. They say they fire it for real because he's in the window and then it cuts the shot. I don't think they did. I don't think Bruce fired live ammo. I think that's just a wives' tale.
There's another one at the end. There's an alternate ending. Well, not an alternate ending. Outtake, I guess, where at the very end, something comes out of the woods, goes through the cabin to where Bruce is, and it hits him in the face.
The camera does?
Yeah. And some people say it hit him in the face and it broke his jaw, and others people say that's not true. He didn't break his jaw.
He was a music editor. Bruce was a music editor on this movie. So whoever is credited as a music editor had nothing to do with this movie.
Right. That other guy I think, just made the music. He didn't cut it together or anything. He's just created the music and tons of other stuff that these other guys are involved in too.
When this movie came out overseas, it was one of the first to do a date and day release. So you got a copy of the video in the store you can go buy. On the same day you can go see it in the movie theater. And the reason they did that was to help with piracy. Not really numbers. They didn't want people filming it in the movie theater and then selling it, so they just sold it too. Which I kind of think is a thing that we should be doing because I want to watch it.
They do it now, streaming.
But
stuff comes out in the theater the same day it starts streaming.
And that's kind of why it works there, and it doesn't work on like Blu-ray because like I don't like you're still making a movie sometimes even after the movie's out. Like those Spider-Man movies, the Spider-Verse movies, have multiple different scenes. Like if you went and see it and I saw it, we could have seen two different versions of a scene. Yeah. Like there's a whole bunch of other stuff performatively that goes into this stuff that you can't really do that anymore unless it's streaming, which plays kind of like a VHS does, where you pop it in, you watch the movie, and it's done. Yeah. You had to rewind to VHS, but now you can hit the back button here. Like, there's no special things. There's no actually, like, going behind what is just on the tape. Right. I think that's kind of an interesting, like, progression of owning media. Because, like, on Vudu, or where I put a lot of my digital stuff, sometimes there's bonus features, sometimes there's not. Yeah. So, I almost bought this on Vudu to watch so that we all can watch it, but I didn't know if it was going to have anything because they'll be like, well, you get this and then you get all these other things, and I didn't have that. I didn't want to risk it, right? Because I want the other things. Yeah. You didn't want to pay for it twice, right? Yeah. Let's see here. The movie beat The Shining at the box office. I don't doubt it. It was #1 and Shining was #2. Yeah. It's that Sam Raimi hates that. Why? He loves The Shining. He loves Stanley The Shining's Kubrick. Great. So what? Bruce was like, "Yeah, we beat Stan. Isn't that cool?" He was all about it. He's like, "No." And it's like, "Oh, come on, dude! You can appreciate Stanley Kubrick. Pat yourself on the back there, because The Shining is a no joke monster of a movie. Yeah, it is. And to outperform Stanley Kubrick on a shoestring budget, your first time out. That you give yourself some credit there. Yeah. The Blu-ray transfer that I have here, they were talking about it because I guess they filmed this before they did this. This was 2009, I want to say, when they did this commentary.
Okay.
They're talking about how New Line Cinema ended up. It was before New Line Cinema was called New Line Cinema. Mm-hmm. Basically, picked it up and let them have rights for foreign releases and a whole bunch of other stuff that's not heard of anymore.
Right.
And they also gave it a better upscaling. Mm-hmm. This one here, there's an option to watch it in the original 1331.
Oh, really?
Which is how I watched it. Very square.
Yeah.
And I don't really care, because when I see that, I say, oh, it was formatted for the TV aspect ratio at the time.
Right.
Because that's typically what that is. That's why they're that.
Yeah.
But when I picked on it, I picked it just because it was the first one, and then at the very end, this is the first time you get to see it the same way they got to see it the original times at the drive-thru.
Wow,
or the drive-in. Cool. So like when you went to the drive-in in 1981, you saw the same thing this one sees.
Yeah.
And that I appreciated a lot.
There's that Star Wars DVD has the original first before they put Episode 4 on it.
It's Star Wars.
Because that happened way back then too.
In the 80s, right?
No, it happened back in '77. He re-put it on there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and but that one has it's like the Lucasfilm logo is totally different.
Yeah, it's like written out. It's not.
It's just words. Yeah, not the westerny looking way.
You Gen Z
awesome.
and millennials will recognize that from the last season of the Clone Wars.
Oh, they do
when they do the last 3 episodes, the Siege of Mandalore. It has the very first where it's just kind of text Lucasfilm logo, and that's cool. Very appreciated. I'm done with my notes. I don't really have anything else to talk about with this movie.
If I don't. Maybe people think this is scary. I don't think it's scary. And I don't think Evil Dead 2 was scary. Mm-hmm. But watch either one of them. Evil Dead 2 is a better version of this movie. They had more time, more resources, and they put a couple of other extra things in there. And you don't have to watch Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness. You could just watch 2 and Army of Darkness.
Yeah, and I'm kind of right in the middle, where I think everybody should watch this in the same way I think you should watch like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or the Nightmare on Elm Street. But then watch Evil Dead 2 and watch somebody remake their own movie. Yeah, and kind of have that comparison. Like, you don't have to watch this movie, and especially if you want to watch Army of Darkness, Ash versus the Evil Dead, anything of the stuff that comes after that, this isn't going to play into any of it. No, it's gonna be like watching. It's gonna feel like watching a weird alternate dimension of this movie. Yeah, where it's similar but different. Yeah, especially because the rest of what this franchise became all feels the same. It feels like it all goes together, and this one kind of stands out. But I think the remake of this remakes this. Yeah, and does a really good job at it.
Yeah, the remake too. You say you didn't see it?
No, I've seen them. I've seen every Evil Dead now.
So that's way more allegory of addiction. And
it is.
The Deadite stuff is you're the monster you are when you're whatever, because the girl is they only go up there to get her off heroin or something.
That's the whole point, right? To get her to kick what she's on,
right? And she ends up getting something way worse. But it's and this really isn't like that. There's a cabin out in the middle of the woods, and there's something out there.
There's something, and and this obviously with the cabin in the woods movie,
which is great.
It is. Oh, it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal, I love that every horror movie after that can be tied into that. Yeah. But with that being the first kind of cabin in the woods story, I like how that movie uses this cabin as the the thing. Like it's that cabin. Right. Like it might not be the 1-to-1, but it's definitely made to look like this one.
Definitely. Run down, scary,
in the middle of nowhere.
out in the middle of
I mean,
nowhere.
the pothead guy's like, this is where we're staying. Like, it's a great movie. But check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Check this out. Check them. I mean, honestly, I like the Evil Dead so much that I would say check them all out.
Check them all out.
Embellish your world with the.
I watched a few of those shows too of the Ash versus the Evil Dead. That's pretty cool too. It's not. It's different than this, but it's good.
Bruce Campbell will go to conventions, and I've heard him say, like, hey, were you guys a fan of Ash vs. Evil Dead? You want it to keep going? And they're like, yeah. And he said, stop pirating it. It's the most pirated show.
Wow, really?
On streaming, yeah, apparently.
Well, I didn't pirate it. I watched it on streaming, though.
I never really watched it.
It's cool.
I thought, I just kind of felt like it might not be what I wanted it to be, and it might be more, like, silly and goofy.
It's not so silly and goofy, but if you already have a preconceived notion, you should get rid of that first.
Oh, so go in with an open mind.
Yeah, if you got it, go in with an open mind. If you like Evil Dead stuff, it's definitely worth it. If you like horror stuff, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, these are great horror movies.
Yeah.
I think they're great horror movies because they're not over complicated. They're not over like.
Even the time travel third one is not overly complicated.
It's fun. I don't know it's a fun adventure movie. Why do you want to do that, though?
At the end of Evil Dead 2, there's some portal opens up. It takes him back in time to King Arthur, who's a fictional character.
Yeah, completely fictional. Yeah. He's not real.
No.
It's like Sherlock Holmes. That wasn't a real guy.
Right. And then he's got to try to find his way home.
Yeah.
Which I'd love. There's two endings to that, and both of them are really good, but I'm glad they went with the one they did go with. Because it's just better when he's like shop smart, shop S smart. And it brings it into all that Deadite stuff into our world. Mm-hmm. Whereas the alternate version, he stayed asleep too long, and it's like, the Earl's decimated. Yeah.
Yeah, but check him out. Sam Raimi gets the official Grindhouse seal of approval.
Sam Raimi does. Absolutely.
Yeah. We should do Army of Darkness at some point. That would be a fun one to tackle. But I have been Cheese Film.
Then I am Hecubus.
And this has been, as always, the Grindhouse Podcast. Cheese Film. Out.